Welcome back to Star Trek Online on Star Trek Absolute. And this session we're going to do, you can see we're about to just hit level 40. Kind of wanted to do that part on camera, simply to show that it's Admiral Janeway once again, probably with some recommendation by Admiral Tuvok to actually be promoted to Admiral. Like I say, this is going to be one of the first Star Trek TV series where it's focused on an admiral leading their ship instead of a captain. But thinking of the thematic canon reason for this, the fact that we are exploring the Delta Quadrant, which is a fair distance away from the Alpha and Beta and from the home of the Federation in Earth and Earth space dock, I felt it was prudent to have another Admiral rank in the Delta Quadrant. Because you have plenty of Admirals and what have you in the Alpha and Beta Quadrants for the Federation, but not necessarily in the Delta Quadrant. And so with that, Captain Vanek is promoted.
Congratulations, Admiral.
So I've put him on my personal tricorder screen. He roughly says that, but he's actually basically saying what I've sort of explained, how we need to have a more high-ranking admiral out there in the Delta Quadrant, making informed decisions. So, and this is where Captain Vanek says, "Thank you very much, Admiral. I will do everything required of me in the new rank." But he's not actually going to return to space dock. Instead, I think we can do most of the stuff we need to do here. I'm hoping. Got the shipyard and stuff here. Transporter. Customized clothing, yeah. So most of the stuff we can do here anyway. So now that we are level 40, it's time to do everything that comes with being level 40, including we have a spare a spare officer slot. The reason I said hollow then by accident is because as a rear admiral, I believe it is anyway, and being that Vanek is not someone who likes to work with people but likes to work with technology, he has, very much like the EMH, created a holographic crew person from the original crew of the USS Enterprise 1701, no, A's, B's, C's or D's, the original 1701, and we were in need of a helmsperson, a proper helmsperson, and so we got Hikaru Sulu. It is good to have you, Mr. Sulu. You will join us and take the helm. And therefore, we've covered most of the positions, I believe. We have Elisa Flores being the first officer, the Doctor is the Chief Medical Officer, Hikaru Sulu is our helmsman. One of two, although she says engineering, is actually our Chief Tactical Officer. Devrel is our Chief Science Officer, and Zava is our Chief Engineer. There could be one or two extra that I could add on, but for now, those are the positions that were filled on the USS Absolute. And speaking of which, I believe we have 2 new console slots added in, but I'm going to go through things as they're supposed to be, including adding new weapons. So, along with having new consoles, we're getting new weapons to create a new set you've probably seen before. The Prolonged Engagement set. It's just a matter of whether or not we want to use the phaser beam array or use prolonged engagement dual cannons. I'm noticing though that the obliterating phaser beam array is a very rare, whereas the phaser dual beam bank is only uncommon, not even rare. So the chances are but then this is only uncommon as well. These are very rare. Having chronoton torpedoes, they look very similar to photon torpedoes anyway. Transphaser torpedoes, which the Federation does have now. Tracked beam mine launcher is kind of unique, but it's got the infinity symbol, meaning I'm definitely keeping them. It's like launching tractor beam emitters that can track and tractor beam targets. Phaser quad cannons are a part of the ship normally anyway. And then the phaser turret just has a 360 targeting arc, so it's just handy to have, particularly if they are in the forward arc. But they are only level 4. That is key to note. I'm thinking because the 4 torpedo launchers can fire chronoton, photonic, and quantum, because of the quantum module, warhead module, but the aft can only fire transphasic, I might switch things up a little bit. I might be switching things up a little bit. So instead of the phaser turret, I could have a prolonged engagement beam. But I've already got that phaser beam there. But then this is a Mark 8, is that? That's 8, isn't it? And this is only Mark 6. That's Mark 8 as well. This is only Mark 6. But again, it's very rare. Mark 6 was very rare. The 2 weapons to be swapped out really are these 2. Phaser beam array, and phaser turret Mark 4. I suppose it does kind of make sense to have phaser dual beam bank at the front, being the amount of very obvious phaser strips on the fore of the ship. So I'm trying to visually see. There's not many phaser strips I can see at the aft section. Couple above the impulse engines maybe, but it's not very clear to see any on the back really, or underneath. So yeah, it kind of does make sense to still have dual phaser beam back at the front. So we'll upgrade this to the prolonged engager phaser beam array. It's just whether or not we want it on the fore or the aft. 5% chance of plus 30 armor penetration, 100% shield penetration. Very similar to the transphaser torpedoes then, with bonus shield penetration. Whereas what do these have? Is okay, so applies 1 stack of amplified relays. Per stack this weapon deals 1% increased damage. Every 5 stacks of amplified relays gain 20% firing cycle haste for this weapon. So the more this weapon is used, the better. And we're more likely to have ships in our forward arc because of the quad cannons and the dual phaser beam array. So I'm gonna do prolonged engagement phaser beam there. I could have put quad cannon, the other cannons one on, but we want to make sure that we have that overlapping arc on the port and the starboard side. So that will be obliterating phaser beam array on the aft and prolonged engagement phaser beam array on the fore. And then we will have aft photon torpedoes. Are they 180 degree arc? So they can probably be fired when we are in the overlapping arc on the port or starboard side. Anyway. That still works. That still works alright. I might swap those over for that effect then, actually. So this will have the tractor beam, because it's kind of 360 for phaser quad cannons, and this is 90 degree. And have this be 180. There we go. Okay. That's the weapons. But then... did we have another phase beam array? Oh, we might be replacing all of them anyway. Is there a bank here? I do not know if there's a bank here. It won't come up as a symbol, I don't think, because it's normally a console you have to activate. Oh, there might be this side. Exchange. If there's exchange, there's normally banks. Well, that's what I'm saying. If it's a phaser beam array, I'll have it if I go onto the ship, won't I? Huh. Wonder what I put that down for. Access bank. No, nothing there, is there? No. Account? No. Don't know what I've done there. That's not part of it. Okay, but there is the main console. Main console, and it's prolonged engagement. I kind of feel that's engineering. So, prolonged engagement power dynamo. There we go. So, in essence, because we're going into the Delta Quadrant and Voyager's experience, we receive upgrades, which the USS Voyager naturally has, I suppose you could say. And I'm aware they had bio-gel packs, which were unique to Voyager. You could argue that's kind of what this is doing. I don't know. Some sort of scapegoat. 7.5% recharge time and all bridge officer abilities is always very nice. And then the photonic cascade torpedo, upgrading a torpedo for the prolonged engagement torpedo specifically. So there will be times where we want to use both the broadside emitters and the prolonged engagement photon torpedo, and that is when that ability activates. And then we move on to the next part, which is the invention. I say invention, it kind of has been done before, but still, of Vanek. He is very much sticking by his motto now of the best defense is not being the target for attack. And he's got a photonic displacer console for us. In essence, the ship could already cloak anyway, but it cloaks, and in its place it creates a holographic replica. Photonic displacement. Yeah. For now, that'll do. This is just part of Vanek's thematic journey, having a console which matches his beliefs. Until we get another set further down the line, much further down the line actually, which is again part of another ship set. But most of these consoles will pretty much stay the same now. You get the stealth fighter set, all done. You got 3 out of 4 of the flagship technologies, which came with the Odyssey class, the legendary Odyssey, from the 10th anniversary pack. Then you've got 2 out of 3 of enhanced engineering, which is specifically for the Odyssey. Just increases flight turn rate and recharge time for the work bees, and I suppose for the Odyssey shuttle as well as improved resistance and power transfer rate. I say set 3 is purely for the saucer section, which affects the main hull of the ship anyway, so we replace that with the 4/4 alternate timeline set. So these upgrades basically claimed to be Borg upgrades, others being cannons placed on the sides, or shuttle warp cores being launched from the vehicle replicator on board. And now these two upgrades, prolonged engagement power dynamo, coming from the upgrades which the Voyager got during its time in the Delta Quadrant, whether it be the biogel packs or some of the thing. And then the photonic displacer being Vanek's creation, ship cloaks, and creates a photonic replica. And then we have general other upgrades while we're at it. A positron deflector array, if it's better, which I believe, yes it is. Much better. And so we'll have that. And then I believe this one is purely for Vanek. This is a Seeker drone. And then this is a Seeker drone Mark 9. So I'll have a Mark 9 Seeker drone. And then do we have shield generator or fuse armor? She can be set instead of something. But it's only for one target. I do like making stuff, so I probably won't go for that one. There you have it. That's most of the upgrades, I think, done. Any upgrades for our actual crew? Yeah, we need to actually. There's no new armor. We need to determine whether Sulu's a part of the away team or if he's part of one of the stations. He'll be tactical, won't he? Yes, torpedoes, but we've pretty much got Elisa Flores down for tactical. Could do one of the universal stations. Can't really do one of two though, because we need something in engineering. Away team, so you've got nothing to do with. You'd only be Elisa Flores, which be swapped out for Hikaru Sulu, simply because then it makes sense that Elisa Flores, as the first officer, has command of the ship when Vanek is not aboard, and also we're very well aware of Hikaru Sulu's melee training in fencing, so it makes sense to have him on the away team. And although there's not enough station spaces, he is the helmsman. Yeah, the Doctor is Chief Engineer Officer, Chief Medical Officer even, Sava's Chief Engineer, 1 or 2 is the Chief Tactical Officer, Lisa Flores is the First Officer, and ADMIRAL is Chief Science Officer. And the away team is starting to take shape as well, with the Doctor still as the key person to go on away teams if any medical situations need dealing with. ADMIRAL is a science officer investigating. After all, Starfleet and the Federation's mandate is still exploration, so anything to do with discovering new things, using sensors, things like that. Rel's there for that. Zava for engineering and repairs. Although technically, she will have command. Oh, I forgot about her ground abilities with command. I don't normally do it, but to team plus 30 all damage resistance rating if allies crouched, which I often do. Okay, you know what? It might be prudent to swap out to Vrel at some point for an engineering officer, if we get another engineering officer, because I'm going to use her all the command stuff. I don't often change the ground stuff, but because she's got command, I think I might. She's the only one that's getting a specialisation. I don't think I'll give a specialisation to anyone else, particularly because the US Absolute is our ship. Or do I change it now? So you've got the Doctor, one of two. Zava, and then Karasulu. So all the difference you have: science, engineering, command, tactical, and then Vanek is himself. Which does mean that the main away team equipment needs changing over again, as comes with a promotion, level up to a America 10. Oh, I see why it's on the same line, that makes sense. Okay. Let's get this sorted then. Once again. Oh, and all the tribbles as well. So, let's do this by the fact that you two have an extra ground trait over these two, because you've got space efficient and you've got space leadership. The Karasulu is meant to be our main tactical officer. And I feel like that kind of means you should have one of the phaser rifle or phaser sniper rifle. You know what, we'll give you the platinum. And then you can have the best armor and the highest quality shield we've got. Then it's going to be one of two. One of two. You get the Bajoran Phaser rifle. You get that one, and then highest quality shield. Yes, that one. Then you got the Zava, because Zava's actually a what do you call it? Living being? You could say holograms aren't really living, they're technology. And Zava gets Probably this. And body. Probably that. And shield. Probably that. Last but not least, Doctor gets the stun phaser pistol. At least it's a stun one, being that he should do no harm by default programming. And then best armor. 10% energy damage buff. Yeah, sure. Question is, do I keep the other stuff? I suppose I do often change up the awaiting depending on situations, so we'll still give the other two crewmen stuff. At least the Flores again has one less ground trait than ADMIRAL, so she'll get the slightly better equipment. Oh, but then this just feels like this is an assault beam rifle, which is more apt for a proper tactical officer. And to ADMIRAL, you get the stun pistol. You don't get any body armor though. You do get a personal shield. Right, then we are Karusulu. We have different triples. Triples I will actually take out of the bank. And we'll figure out. ADMIRAL being a science officer probably would have some triples, particularly unique ones like tough. I don't know. Every one of them, apart from this one, has 4 letters, so you can have star as well. Tough looks different. It has a pattern. Star has 4 letters. And Flores, you can have the other triples. Karusulu. You'll get medium shield charge. It makes sense as you're a hologram. Doctor, you'll get a large hypo simply because you're a doctor. Zava, you get a medium hypo. And one of 2, you'll get a small hypo. And the Karusulu, I'll give you a small shield charge again. Again, makes sense because you're only a hologram. And the Doctor, you get the other hypo. Right, and then we can hopefully clear up these 2 standard editions. There. Still keeping the worn Vulcan Lurper, just as memories. And if we ever need to have a melee weapon again for a Vulcan, Valak knows how to use the Lurper. Right, now what remains, I'm not going to forget it this time, is actually doing the promotions and the changing of the clothing. Although we won't really be able to do that for Sulu. Sulu, you can't really change his outfit if I recall. I don't like him being called cadet though, so simply for that reason I will promote him to lieutenant. Simply because he's part of the senior staff. There's only, from Voyage I can particularly remember that one of the senior staff is an ensign, Ensign Kim. He's not an ensign on this though, he is a captain, deservedly so, on this one. So at least none of them say cadet. Right. Let's go and give promotions that are needed. Does anyone need any physical promotions? I don't think anyone needs any physical promotions, do you? At least the Flores is commander, Zava is commander as needed be, ADMIRAL is lieutenant commander as needed, one of 2 is lieutenant, Suri is lieutenant, Doctor is lieutenant. Yeah, I think that is how it's going to be though. 2 commanders, It's happened before. Star Trek Enterprise, both Councillor Troy and William Riker are commander rank. Then you have a lieutenant commander. You could pick out 2 Volk for that. You could pick out was Data? Data might have been. You have Tucker. I think Mr. Spock might have been for a while on the original series. And then you've got the rest which are lieutenants. In terms of what their actual rank will be, we'll see in a moment. No, there's no background music with this one either. And that's the point. He is now an admiral. And it has been some time since the Undine conflict has settled down, and it's time to explore the Delta Quadrant. So it's time to gain a little bit of a beard. It's just depending on how much of a beard. That might be pretty suitable enough. Thin beard. When he's a proper admiral, and in terms of actually in charge of a fleet, it might grow to be this big, full trim. But for now, it's just going to be beard thin. And there you have it, a Vulcan with a beard. We have seen it before, but this is Vanek now. He is aging. Not only that, but there are going to be some slight alterations to his uniform. And you know what? If he's aging, I'll say somehow. Ooh. He's increased in height a little bit. He's still 6'1", but the tall side of 6'1" now. And then, as for the uniform, most of it is staying the same. However, this is now receiving. I'm not sure if I want to do it bright white. I might actually do it, yeah, like that, to indicate he has reached Admiral status, even if it is lower half. And it is actually as Admiral Tuvok. Is that too bright? I do like it white though, even if it doesn't quite match up with other uniforms. I'm not having it bright white, but I'm having it white. Still have the engineering outline, and it still shows that he's the captain of a ship with the red. The white shows that he's actually of admiral status now. Everything else I think should still stay the same. That is Vanek growing a beard, a little bit taller, changed his outfit up a little bit. There's the difference between those two frames just then. Okay, on to the bridge officers. So, Lisa Flores is commander, still first officer. Pretty sure, yeah. The modify outfit is faded out for Ricardo Sulu, so can't do that for him. And for the Doctor, I do like the Voyager / Delta Fly, the Voyager / Deep Space Nine outfit, so I'm going to keep that as is. And I'm going to keep him without rank for now. He might get a rank later on, but for now the Doctor's staying as it is, so is one of two. Karasula can't edit. Zava, Lisa Flores is full commander. Zava, Lieutenant is staying. Lieutenant Terrell is staying Lieutenant's rank. Zava, just because all the pips are fully coloured, then is going to be a full commander. That's what we're going to do for now. And you're going to be full commander. I think that's mainly all we're going to change. So that any pips that anyone's got is fully coloured, no halves. And there you have it. That's it. All changed. Alright, I believe we're to report to Admiral Janeway to begin the Delta Quadrant missions. If I'm not mistaken, next one is Reunion. So we'll do that mission at least.
There's something interesting I'd like you to look into.
Yes, it's good to be back, Admiral. If I may be so bold, what is your role here again? I may have already asked, but remind me, I'm back again.
Officially, there's a joint effort aimed at establishing a new presence in the Delta Quadrant. While I was captain of the Voyager, I learned a lot about this part of the galaxy. Command felt I'd be a valuable part of our efforts here, and I agree with them.
Ah yes, I recall now, Admiral. Thank you very much for the reminder, and I'm here as Rear Admiral now, be a part of the exploration, or re-exploration perhaps, of the Delta Quadrant.
There's something interesting I'd like you to look into.
Yes, that's the point. Where should I begin, Admiral?
A group of Talaxians living in the Intaba system are ready to move to a new homeworld. Admiral Tuvok and Voyager have gone ahead to begin preparations, and I'd like you to assist them.
Yes, having 2 Rear Admirals there to welcome them. We'll head there immediately.
There's something interesting I'd like you to look into.
We will, Admiral. And we'll also, while we'll do it, any new upgrades we can also set. So that is, we'll do it commander, so drone fabrication, anytime. Cover shield's already set. Let's see, before I forget, I'm going to save the loadout. And there we have it, all saved. Default tray configuration, I'm still trying to figure out what that means. So I might have to save it again when we return to the ship. Use absolute, beam me back. Alright, let's take a look. We've got anything new. Prolonged engagement power, yeah. Whenever possible. That's already auto deploying. Whenever possible. Photonic displacement, there we go. Let's quick test what it does. So then we're kind of cloaked. And we leave an photonic displacement in the wake. Cloak as well. Alright, then the miraculous repairs. 25% Nadion inversion. Whenever possible, I suppose. Ramming speed. Whenever it's 50%. Relocate mines. Ooh, relocate mines is a cool one. Because obviously we do have mines. These are already set what they need to be set to. Perfect. save. And we probably have things to upgrade and do. So let's see if it'll head us out this time or not. Because it warps incorrectly out of the sphere. It doesn't necessarily warp out correctly. Exit in a dice sphere.
It's been 32 years since Voyager finished its journey.
We thought we had left the Delta Quadrant behind us.
We were wrong.
The gateways to the quadrant are open.
And the choices we made have long-lasting effects. Now, we will help the friends we left behind.
And fight the rising darkness.
Voyager's first trip through the Delta Quadrant was a solitary one.
We must return to set things right.
This time, we must unite to survive.
Of course, you got Admiral Janeway as well. Who is voiced, but this is back when they did not have her voice. Alright, should be a short journey over. And we'll take a quick look. So, traits, the most obvious personal ground one is going to be Mind Meld, based off of Tuvok in the last mission, officially mind melding with Vanek. So, he has a somewhat an idea of how to perform a mind meld, but it's more to stun and confuse. So he actually has a Vulcan trait now as such, which is very well known to the Vulcans. As for the actual ship, one, they're going to have, I believe it's Living Hull. So it has hull regeneration based off of the visit to the, we call it the sentient Undine bio ship. It gave the actual ship an upgrade. But with that upgrade, it slowed the ship down, being pure matter. So we can replace it with Grace Under Fire, being we've actually got that ability now. Just so that if we ever get into dire straits, the US Absolute can at least survive. And we can regroup and retreat. But it's lost its speed because of the ship having living elements in it, which kind of is, again, thematic with saying that the prolonged engagement console is to do with the bio-gel packs which Voyager had, being through the Delta Quadrant. So it kind of matches up, really. And we'll just quickly do the what's free to do. Don't have access to the Admiral stuff yet. Alright, in that case, I'll probably do that next time because I need to figure out what area I'm going to choose to do next. I don't quite want to get that one wrong. Ground one, pretty obvious to do. Improved shield hardness. And then probably improved flank resistance. again, very sticky on defense. But the space skills I'll work out another time. For now, we'll begin reunion. And I will actually save again, just in case it does affect that. Let's begin. Very well, Commander. What is that on screen? Are those Kazon Raiders?
Voyager is under attack by the Kazon. Engines are offline, requesting assistance.
We're en route, Admiral. Cloak the ship. Let's see if the Kazon have met cloaking technology before. Uncloak. Yes, I would say they have one. Hail, Voyager.
Thank you for your assistance. We were en route to the Talaxian base when we were ambushed by the Kazon. The damage is relatively minor, but my crew will require time to make repairs. However, I have a personal request. The leader of the Talaxian colony served with me on Voyager. Would you be willing to take me there?
I believe Neelix, was it? Of course, Admiral. You may beam over at your convenience.
This base is populated by Talaxians. My shipmate from Voyager, Neelix, joined them before they moved to this location. The Talaxians have been looking for a new homeworld for quite some time, and now they have found one.
That is positive news.
The Alliance's history with the relocation of the Romulans will be invaluable in this process.
Yes, although there do not seem to be the same number of Romulans as there are Talaxians. There seem to be much fewer Talaxians, at this location at least. All stop. Hail the asteroid base.
Starfleet! Oh, what a thrill! It's so wonderful to see someone from the Federation again. It's been so long, and I keep in touch with my friends, but subspace isn't the same, and listen to me, I'm rambling on. My name is Neelix, and I serve as Starfleet's ambassador to the Delta Quadrant. Before that, I spent 7 years on the USS Voyager with Captain Catherine Janeway.
Admiral Janeway. She was promoted quite some time ago, Neelix.
Admiral Janeway? Of course! She certainly earned that promotion. My link to the Alpha Quadrant wasn't as strong as I wanted it to be until the Janolan Dyson Sphere opened a path straight to the Delta Quadrant. Now we get all sorts of news, but yours is the first ship to visit. I may make a trip to Earth myself sometime, sample the cuisine, but that will have to wait until after the colonization. I barely have a minute to myself anymore. There's just so much to do.
About the colonization.
Oh, you've come to help. How wonderful! But of course, Starfleet's always pitching in to help out, aren't they? Why, in all my years as ambassador to the Delta Quadrant, I've done everything I could to uphold the good name of the Federation. I don't always have the resources to do more than diplomatic visits, but we try to help out anyone we can, whenever we can. There are Alcanthan ships out there right now. Did you know that? My people are helping them explore the stars.
Neelix, I'm sure the Federation appreciates your efforts on its behalf. But could we get back to the colonization efforts?
Ow, where are my manners? You must be tired and thirsty after your long journey. Come to the colony. We'll fix you right up. But if I could impose on you just for a small favor first. The Kazon Nistrum have been giving us a lot of trouble lately. We've constructed some shield generators to protect the base, but the Kazon keep knocking them offline, and all my shuttles are prepping for the colonization. Could you reactivate the shields for us?
I'm surprised the Kazon Nistrum managed to make it this far, but then I suppose even those civilizations and cultures will eventually advance. We'll reactivate the shields for you, of course, Neelix.
Wonderful! Just fly to the generators and start the relaunch sequence. It will take them a few minutes to get up to full strength, but that shouldn't be a problem. After that, beam down to the colony. I'll start making some nice Leola root stew for you.
We will restart the free shield generators. Captain Rear Admiral Vanek out. Still used to win promotion. We'll stop. Repair this disabled generator. Good work, Sava. On to the next one. Mr. Sulu, a little firmer on the brakes this time, if you don't mind. We'll stop. Prepare this next shield generator. I couldn't do a better job than myself, Commander. I'm not saying something, being that our rear tracks match. Next generator. We'll stop. Much better, Mr. Sulu, much better. Good work, everyone. If all the shields are becoming back online, hail Neelix and inform them of our progress.
Thank you so much for your assistance. You may beam down to our base at your leisure. Oh, and speaking in my formal capacity as permanent ambassador, welcome to the Delta Quadrant.
Thank you ever so much, Neelix. Inform Admiral Tuvok will be beaming down shortly and have us meet in Transporter Room 1. Away team, Transporter Room 1. Commander Flores, the ship is yours.
So good to meet you in person. View screens are so impersonal, don't you think?
Well,
May I shake your hand? If memory serves, that's how.
yes, it is.
Mr. Vulcan? Is that you, Tuvok?
Indeed. It is agreeable to see you again, Neelix.
What a wonderful surprise. Come, my friends, we have so much to discuss.
The away team are standing by, it would seem. Neelix.
You look well, Neelix.
As do you. Family, children. Being here has changed me for the better.
Indeed. This colony is an improvement on your previous home.
Twice as large and completely updated. You should see the kitchen.
I'm sure it's impressive.
But you still seek a new homeworld?
I'm curious about that myself.
Of course, children need sun and open skies. A place to put down roots.
That does make sense. What is that?
What was that?
Acknowledged. Well done, Commander. Inform me if they return.
The operations bay? Dexter was in there.
Neelix? Debris everywhere.
Dexter's trapped. Please, do something.
We will. But actually, you have transporters. You can use them to transport decks underneath this wreckage and out of there. Sending coordinates now.
Dex is a little dizzy, but she'll be fine. I have to stay with her, though. I'm afraid I must impose on your kindness again. Several of our systems were damaged in the attack, and I can't help fix them just now.
Neelix, I believe the saying is I'm the right person for the job. I will help. What can I do?
Several of our systems are malfunctioning. Our communications, environmental controls, engineering, and the controls for the crane loading our ships all have been damaged.
I have more than enough experience in those areas. It would be my pleasure. Reminds me of being back on New Romulus. Perhaps the Romulan people and the Talaxian people are not so different. If the Federation can help both of them, well, it makes for good relations. That looks incredibly dangerous. What's going on here? The first problem seems to be in the console's power. Let's route power through the secondary relays. Console now seems electroplasma flow. Let me see if altering it does anything. So clear metrics, several areas. I'll need to align them. Fairly certain there are many problems with the console. We have some replacement fuses. Yes. Let me replace the damaged fuses. Console repair is complete. Let's see what else needs repairs. Seems to be some damage as we came in from upstream. That looks like it could use some repairs. Have a ladder? Oh. That's not good. Need medical attention in the shuttle bay. Climb up this way. There we go. Issue fixed. Okay, clearly the doctor must have been through here recently and fixed the problem. Base this large must have more than one floor. I wonder if there's any issues on the top floor. If I could find the turbo... there's the turbo lift. Let's see the next floor up. This is the command center. Let's get this console fixed. Range for example for the mold. Let's raise it up. 8.4 terahertz. I believe I can adjust the output of the phase limiter here. Frequency is only 2.4, then it needs to be increased. Much higher. There we go. Let's lock in that frequency. Let's see if Neelix is getting it right. Ground floor. Dexter at least is looking better. Back to work already. Neelix, all repairs are complete as far as I can see, and Dexter seems to be well. Any injured have been seen to by the doctor. Is there anything else?
Thank you so much. Everything seems to be working properly now, and Dex is feeling much better. I need to take one final lap around the base and speak to a few people before we depart. Would you care to accompany me?
Certainly. Who do you need to go and see? Anyone in particular, Neelix? Oh, that person there. Very well. Neelix wants to have a few words.
I need help loading this ship. Menix was supposed to help me, but now I can't find him, and I can't reach him on internal comms. I know he hasn't left the station yet, though. Could you look around and tell him that his shift has started?
I can find Menix and do that? Sure.
The lack of discipline among the Talaxians is alarming.
I'm very well aware, Admiral. We are a laid-back species, it would seem. Ah, are you Menix?
Greetings, friend. What can I do for you?
I just spoke with, I believe her name was Calyx, or so Neelix tells me. She says she needs more workers for this shift, that yours is supposed to have started.
Really? I was scheduled to work now, but I traded shifts with Oxel so I could meet a friend who's returning from a long trading mission. Find Oxel. He should be able to help you.
I see you traded shifts and you didn't inform. Very well, I will find
I've known
Oxel.
Menix for many years now. If he says he traded shifts, I believe him.
Fair enough, Neelix. Fair enough. Ah. Oxel, is it? Can I have a word with you?
I don't believe we've met yet. I'm Oxel, and you must be one of Neelix's visitors from the Alpha Quadrant. It's a pleasure to meet you.
And you. I'm trying to track down who's supposed to be working the cargo loaders right now. The shift says it should be Menix, but we visited Menix and said he traded shifts with you. Is that correct?
That's right, but then I beat Drexa in a game of Kat is Kat, and she agreed to work the shift for me. You should find her.
I see. You appreciate gambling here. I will find Drexa.
Betting work shifts on a game of Caddis Cot is extremely unprofessional.
Agreed, Admiral. It would certainly take some training for them to join as a member of Starfleet. Drexa? Is it?
Hi there. I'm Drexa. I heard you helped save Dex's life. Those Kazon are always bothering us. I wish they'd just find someplace else to go. Is there something I can do for you?
Yes, schedule for the cargo loaders is quite confusing. I'm supposed to try and find out who is supposed to be working them. Oxel has said that you lost a game of Caddiscart to him in a gamble and agreed to work his shift as payment.
Oh, yes, that's right. I worked his shift, though. Check the duty roster. It should all be there.
I have a suspicion I know what has happened. I will check the duty roster.
Drexa never worries about the details, but she's one of the nicest people I know.
Sometimes the details are important, though, Neelix. Let's see. The duty roster does show that Drexa worked a shift for Oxel. Ah, it's the original shift that Oxel worked, rather than the time marked with Menix's shift. Let's download this to my tricorder. We have discovered the roster, Drexa, and I believe we need to speak again.
Oh, it's you again. Did you find what you needed?
Yes, I did. On the duty roster, it shows that you worked the shift as you stated. However, it was not the correct shift. Oxel traded shifts with Menix, so when you did Oxel's shift, you were actually supposed to work Menix's shift.
Really? But I worked the shift that was in the duty roster.
Yes, I am very well aware of that. It seems that administration is very much a requirement here. Oxel?
Did you find Drexa?
Yes, they checked the duty roster. It seems someone did not update the trade with Menix for shifts, and so Drexa did your original shift by mistake.
What a goof! I told her I traded shifts with Menex. At least I think I did. Does that mean both Menex and Drexa showed up for my shift?
Let me see if I can find out. And Neelix will find an administrator, I'm sure. Menix, I believe we have a bit of a problem, a conundrum as such.
Hey there! I talked to Oxel, and he told me what happened. Did you find Drexa?
So, I looked at the duty roster. Drexa was supposed to do your shift to repay her debt to Oxel, but did his original shift by mistake. I have to ask, whereabouts were you?
Oh, that explains it. I showed up for the shift a bit late, but Calix said she already had enough workers and I could go back to my quarters. Normally, I would be happy to work, but my friend will be back any time now. That's why I traded shifts in the first place.
I see. Well, perhaps it's just as well I am here. I think I understand why you're understaffed at this time, Galax.
Did you find Menix?
Okay, I hope you're listening and paying attention to everything I'm about to tell you. Menix said he traded shifts with Oxel. Then there was a gambling bet, and Drexa lost that gambling bet to Oxel, and took the shift as payment. However, the duty roster was not updated with the trade, and Drexa did Oxel's original shift by mistake, instead of Menix's. It also meant that when Menix showed up to work Oxel's shift, you told him you had enough health that he could leave. I hope that all makes sense.
Sounds like quite a series of miscommunications. But I still need help here. What do you think I should do about it?
Menix currently is meeting a friend, and did trade shifts. However, gambling is not what you should do with shifts. As Oxel's shift was originally worked by Drexa and not updated on the roster, as well as gambling, I feel like the responsibility should fall to him. He traded shifts and did not communicate properly. I would say it's his responsibility to work the shift. I will not like it, but I do not approve of gambling in a professional setting. Let us see what we can do next. Perhaps on the upper level of command deck. Command deck. Is there anything that Starfleet can help with at this time?
I need to scan the route we'll take to the colony. But the Kazon attack has damaged our astrometric system. All it will tell me is how far off I am from our target position. I feel like I'm taking shots in the dark. Would you be willing to help me?
If the system is damaged, I might be able to repair it. But then they will not just immediately help you. I'll see if I can immediately find your target.
By adjusting the sensor array's pitch, up and down, and yaw, left and right, you can point the array at the target. By adjusting the force, you can change the distance the array examines. Be sure not to overshoot the target location. The array will be useless if that happens.
Okay, so for the pitch, up and down, your left and right, and the force is how far. This might be within my area of expertise, I'll see. So the target must be within 1 kilometer. Let's see if we can change the force and we go. Increase, 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 decrease. 7.8 is the closest we've got there. Let's see if we can change the pitch angle. Down, 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 down. Okay, 5 kilometers, that's the close. And then what's left is the yaw. Here we go, 1 kilometer. There's your coordinates. Everything is coming together in Neelix. You sure you'll have enough shuttles for the journey? Anything else I can do to perhaps help prepare?
I can't thank you enough for your help. Dex is going to be fine. The doctor says she'll be up and around in no time.
I'm glad to hear it, Neelix.
I need to return to Voyager. Please escort the Talaxian fleet to New Talix.
Very well, Admiral. I hope Voyager has her systems repaired.
We can return to Voyager at your earliest convenience. The Talaxians have much to do.
Then it's time to return immediately. Ah, yes, Commander Flores. I'm prepared to beam back. Inform the away team. Do not... I've already been back. Never mind. Set a course to Voyager. Babel True Rock is ready to beam over. Transport him.
Thank you for all you have done for the Talaxians. I believe that they will be a valuable ally to us in the days ahead. That would not have been possible without your assistance. I am confident we will see one another again. Until then, live long and prosper.
Peace and long life to you, Admiral.
Our ships are ready to depart. Travel to the staging area to join us in our new adventure.
Very well, Neelix. We're on our way. Set a course. Oh, they've got plenty of ships, alright.
Are you ready to depart for New Talax?
Horses locked in. Engage. On screen.
Are you detecting the theta radiation spikes? Those levels have been normal and steady for weeks now. What could have happened?
The Absolute can determine that while the rest of the fleet remains here. Stay with the fleet, Neelix. Set a course for the first cloud. Or stop. Scan the radiation. believe I recall some records about this from Voyager's time in the Delta Quadrant. Neelix, perhaps your first-hand experience could give us an idea of who did this.
Theta radiation could mean only one thing: the Malon. They lack the technology to recycle antimatter waste, which has led them to develop an entire industry around dumping theta radiation in various areas. We can't survive on New Talax if the Malon are going to use it as their personal garbage dump.
No worries, Neelix. We'll deal with this. Set a course to the next gas cloud. We should hopefully find the source on the ships. There. Approach to hail. We'll stop. Open hailing frequencies.
Unknown vessel. This site is claimed by the Malon. Go find your own dump site.
Unfortunately, I have to be the bearer of bad news. The Talaxians have already claimed this system. You will need to find another place to dump your waste.
Why? I was here first. Besides, there's a neutron star near here that makes this the perfect location for our needs. Finding another would be too expensive. Tell the Talaxians to find another planet.
Unfortunately, the Talaxians have been searching for years for a planet like their homeworld. However, if it helps ease relations, we cut us off. Get them back on.
Unknown vessel. Why?
We're going to assist you in finding another dump site. Make communications again. Red alert. Target their engines. Destroying their ships will only make the radiation worse. There's reinforcements on the way. Gauge cutting beacon. Full stop. Reverse. Engines. Let's see if they're willing to talk now. Open hailing frequencies again.
Enough! You've ruined me. Wrecked my ship. At least spare my life.
We shall. However, this system is under the protection of the Federation and Starfleet. Find another place to dump your trash.
The Malon are gone, but the radiation is still around. Oh, what can we do? This would have been a perfect homeworld. But we can't live here if the radiation is going to infect the entire planet.
It has been a while since you've been with Starfleet, isn't it, Neelix? The Absolute can easily remove the radiation. Give us but a few moments. Clear up the first radiation. Clear up this next section. All about. Here's the next section. Clear up the radiation. Next radiation power cleared up. Almost finished. Last section.
Thank you so much for all of your help. You are a true friend to me and to the Talaxian people. Your crew will always be welcome on New Talax. And good luck in your voyages. I hope to see you again soon.
It has been a pleasure, Neelix. Reconnecting with the Federation and Starfleet is now possible. I wish you the best of luck, and to your people as well. Let's report to Admiral Janeway. Let's depart the system. Right, we'll hail Starfleet. Thank you, Lieutenant. It is strange to be a rank that I am in command of a ship, but if Admiral Tuvok can do it, and Admiral Janeway herself has done it, I will continue to command the Absolute, as requested. Send reports to Admiral Janeway.
The Malon were causing problems? Can't say I'm surprised. Hopefully this won't amount to more than a minor inconvenience. If it does, we'll be ready to take action.
Agreed, Admiral. I'm glad to have you heading up things here in the Delta Quadrant. And none of these are going to be helpful, because we have all consoles. However,
congratulations, Admiral.
Right. Well, most likely head back to Dyson Sphere. This particular arc is a very long one. It was originally called Delta Rising. This, I think it's just called Delta Quadrant these days, isn't it? Friends and like places. But it's good to have reunited with Neelix. See, it's 18 episodes long. Barely started. But strange as it seems, it's not been that long of a stream, I don't believe. We've had shorter. I'm probably going to leave it there with a view of the big, you know, that Dyson Sphere is like the Death Star. I had to find the entrance of it. Where's the entrance of it? Yeah. From a distance it can kind of look like a Death Star, can't it? It's probably much bigger than the Death Star actually. The Death Star is about the size of a moon. That could be much larger. But right, I'm going to sort out the space skills because I need to figure out what the next one I need to get is, because I don't want to have to retrain because that costs something. In real life money terms. But to make sure I don't lose out on getting the probability, manipulation of probability shell, or miss out on getting the shield subsystem power and the hangar weaponry. And of course the additional shield resistance. But to do that I'm going to have to somewhat check off camera, so I will leave it there for now. As Admiral Tuvok has already said, live long and prosper. And as Captain Vanek again, as Rear Admiral, even if it's lower half, Vanek replied, peace and long life. Thank you very much for being here.